Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia Perez and I am an author. I had made a 20-minute long video showing my exercises that I do, for my legs and my glutes. But I did have music in the background. I had Post Malone in the background. So YouTube wouldn't allow me to post it because of copyright issues. So I have to redo the video with no music in the background. Which I'll be doing this evening. So that video will be uploaded later this week. I'm thinking maybe on Monday. Anyway, so for today, I'm going to talk about something different. And the reason I'm going to talk about this today is because I'm working on my second book, which is called The Hard, Ugly Truth, which focuses on the long-term effects and the long-term damage of being a sexually abused child. So I'm going to talk about grief and the stages of grief. So once you have a loved one who passes away, of course it is very traumatic for everybody. It's a horrible experience because it's somebody you loved and now that person is gone. Sometimes you do get a warning that their time is coming. They're in the hospital, they're dying, it's coming. And sometimes you just don't know. It's just happens in an instant and you have no idea it's coming. So with my father's death, he was 48 and it's been 20 years. There was no warning. He was a healthy 48-year-old man working for the Department of Transportation. And from one day, to the next, he was gone. He was working on a car at home and he had a heart attack and he passed away, instantly. So we did not get the chance to say goodbye. I did not get the chance to say goodbye. He was just taken. And, that ruined me. It ruined everything that was going on in my life. I crashed. My life literally crashed to the ground because it was just too much for me to bear. And then 6 years ago, my second father passed away. And with him, we did have a bit of a warning. We were all with him at the hospital, before the time came. And, we got to spend his last moments with him. So I'm grateful for that. But last night, I was working on my book, which is called The Hard, Ugly Truth. And I was talking about the stages of grief. So the first stage of grief is denial, which, of course, we're denying that it happened. We're in shock. We don't want it to happen, so we keep thinking, I'm okay, maybe this isn't real. Usually the first few days, or in my case weeks and months, were a blur right after the death because I was just in so much shock and the immense pain was more than I can handle. So I did what I could to numb the pain, which was taking pain medication that was not prescribed to me. It was prescribed to my husband because he had an accident at work. But I needed to numb myself somehow because the pain was immense. And that happened for about 2 years. The second stage of grief is anger, which in my case, I was pissed off at the world. I hated the world and everybody in it. I did not understand why he was taken from me. I was mad at God. Why did God have to take my father at a very young age and not give him the opportunity to meet and spend time with his grandkids? I do not understand that. And I still don't. I'm still angry about his death. With some people, they blame the person who died. They blame them for their death, which of course it's not their fault. My father had a heart attack. He did not do anything to cause his death. But still, I was angry that he left me. Which, might sound selfish. But I was. He's my father and I needed him. And my kids needed him. And we did not get that opportunity. The third stage of grief is bargaining. This is where you kind of... I remember, asking God, if I be good, if I behave, I'll go to church every single day. If you could just bring my dad back. Of course, that's not possible. He is already gone. But in my head, I would have done anything to bring him back for just 5 minutes, anything. So that's kind of, what the bargaining stage is. The next stage is depression. And I would say this must be the worst stage. This is the stage where you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to go to work. My house was dark. I did not let the sun shine in because I was so depressed. I was so sad. And it's a horrible feeling. The things that I used to love, I used to love baking cakes, decorating cakes. The past several years, I used to love to coupon, and I was very good at it. I would teach others how to coupon. I had, a huge stockpile. It was my hobby, and I loved it. I don't do that anymore. After my second father died, I just could not, I never recovered from that depression. And I don't think I ever will. The pain was just so immense to where you start self-destructing. You stop taking care of yourself, and you stop taking care of the things that are important to you because you just don't care. In my case, I just did not care anymore, and I gave up. So yeah, I'm hoping one day I'll be able to, love myself again and love the things I used to love, but I really don't see that happening, which is quite sad. The last stage is acceptance, and that is when we finally accept that the person is gone. Of course, it does not mean that we no longer hurt for the person, because that hurt will be there forever. But you accept it. He's gone. He's gone. He's in a better place. You accept the reality. You accept the reality of what's happening, and you begin to try to heal. You begin to move on. When it comes to grief, you don't go through these stages in order. I mean, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Everybody handles grief differently. So you can jump back and forth from stage to stage without even knowing that that's what you were doing. But I do that. One day I'm accepting of what is, and what has happened. And other days I am pissed off at the world again because they are gone. Because I needed them. I still need them. So the stages of grief, they're a cycle. And you go from one stage, to the next. And you will pretty much go through those stages for the rest of your life. You never really recover from losing a loved one. So those stages will be a part of you forever. The thing with the acceptance stage is once you accept what is, and you know that it is what it is, you can't go back, you can't change it, you can't do any of that. So you try to recover. You try to get your life back on track. You try to be happy. You start laughing again. You start smiling again. You start having fun again. You try to become the old you. Sometimes you can. Of course, I'm a functioning human being. I have a job. I have children. My house is in order. I'm a functioning human being. But I still struggle with grief. And I think I always will. My father was taken from me way too soon. I was only 23, and my stepdad was taken 6 years ago, and it's hard. It will always be hard. So I just wanted to talk about the stages of grief, because I have it fresh in my mind, and it's been bothering me since I wrote that chapter last night. Anyway, in the next video, I am going to redo the workout video that I did on my legs and glutes, for the people who wanted to know what exercises I was doing. I'm going to go ahead and do that without any music, because I cannot use music in YouTube videos because of copyright issues. So I will redo that video, and it will be published soon. Of course, I'll let you know when it's uploaded. If anyone has any questions about grief or about anything in general, you know how to reach me. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.